Wagwan, my GCSE science students, welcome back with another video. Stop scrolling, because on the screen you can see that we're going to go through blood sugar regulation. Okay, so you can see the pancreas, you can see the liver, you can see the glucagon, the glycogen, lots of words that you need to know. Get your flashcards ready, because I'm going to break this down and make it simple for your GCSEs. All right, let's go. So what you can see here is that this is an example of a homeostasis type of reaction. All right, you need to keep the blood sugar level constant at one level right here. Okay, right in the middle here. The blood sugar level needs to be kept constant. Now, if you go to lunch, or if you have a heavy meal, or it doesn't have to be a heavy meal, but once your blood sugar increases, what will happen is that will be detected by the cells in your pancreas. Okay, good. When that is detected by the cells in your pancreas, they will release a hormone called insulin, and that hormone insulin will convert the glucose, the excess glucose, into glycogen. And what that will do, the glycogen will then be stored in your liver and in your muscles, and therefore causing the blood glucose level to fall back to that normal level right here. Okay, on the opposite side, if your blood glucose level falls, so for example you're in a lesson and you're in it for a very long time, and you're thinking like, what time is lunchtime? Your blood sugar level is getting low, or you're exercising, something that causes your blood sugar level to get really low. You're dying for lunchtime, you're waiting on that bell, you're thinking, oh my goodness, the lesson is so boring, I just want to eat some food. Yep. What will happen? That will be detected by your pancreas. Okay, when the blood glucose level falls, when it is detected by the pancreas will release a hormone called glucagon. Okay, make sure you look at these words. I know there's lots of G words here, but make sure you look at the spelling of these words. It will release a hormone called glycogen. Okay, and that glycogen will be converted into glucose. Okay, and what will happen? The glucose will then raise back your blood glucose level back to where it needs to be. Okay, so that glucose is released from the liver and the muscles. Okay, and it goes right back to being normal. However, there are instances where your body cannot regulate its blood sugar level, and that is called diabetes. Okay, and there are two types of diabetes. All right, you have type 1 and type 2. So in type 1, your pancreas does not produce enough insulin, and therefore your body cannot regulate its blood sugar level, and that is treated with insulin injection. In type 2, insulin is produced, however the cells no longer respond to it. Okay, and people who are overweight or obese, they're quite at risk. All right, and it is controlled by limiting the amount of carbohydrates in your diet. You can do exercise, or you can also use some sort of medication. Okay, now that's a summary of what we have done here. At the end of every summary, we always go through some exam style questions. Okay, so now we're going to look at some questions as it relates to controlling your blood sugar level. Okay, so our bodies control the concentration of glucose in the blood. You need to draw a ring around the correct answer to complete each sentence. The concentration of glucose in the body is controlled by a hormone called, and they've given a choice there. Straight away, too easy. That one is insulin. All right, this hormone is produced by which of these organs? Again, too easy. That is produced by the pancreas. And if the body does not produce enough of this hormone, the person develops what is called diabetes. Okay, good. All right, let's look at another question. This is a 4-mark question. So homeostasis controls the internal conditions of the body. Explain how blood glucose levels are controlled in the body of someone who does not have diabetes. All right, so 4 marks, which means that you need 4 extremely good points. So first marking point: if the blood sugar is too high, then insulin is released from the pancreas. Okay, good. When insulin is released, it will convert that glucose into something called glycogen. Okay, so glucose is moved back into the cell because what's happening here, the glucose is converted into glycogen. Okay, and that would be your second marking point, which means therefore that your blood sugar goes back to being normal. Your third marking point is going to come from the fact that if your blood sugar is too low, there's a hormone called glucagon which is released from the pancreas. Now what glucagon does, glucagon will cause the glycogen to be converted into glucose and released into the blood. Okay, and therefore your blood sugar will go back to normal, and that's your marking point number 4. Okay, make sure that when you're answering your questions for GCSEs, it is allowed for science, it is allowed for you to do bullet points. Okay, you can see exactly where you're getting the marking points from here. Now here's another question. You need to compare how each type of diabetes is caused, such as how each type of diabetes can be treated. Okay, so you have two types. You know that you have type 1, in which you're not producing enough insulin, okay, or no insulin is produced at all. That is marking point number 1. Okay, whereas in type 2, the cells do not respond to insulin. How do you treat type 1? Type 1 is treated with insulin injections. Okay, and type 2, it is treated with diet, exercise, or medication. Okay, all right, remember in GCSE science you are allowed to do bullet points. Use all of the information here to make your flashcards, and remember, it's only GCSE science, is not rocket science. I'm out.